Oh, that is very dark. Hold on. Let's pause this music. Fix some things. Hi guys. Okay. If I can brighten this up. Because it is pretty dark. Alright, that's a little bit better. Hi. Hello. How are we? So yeah. Um my brain is not quite like functioning optimally this morning. Not gonna lie to you guys. Not actually a mystery stream. I just needed to get something up on the schedule so that you guys knew that it was going to be a stream today. Um I just didn't know what I was going to be working on, like legit, until about 5 minutes ago. Not 5 minutes ago, like 20 minutes ago. Um, I picked up two of Christine Karon's images last week, and I'm working on one of them for a speed color video that I was hoping to have up on Saturday. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. I spent not most. I spent like all of Thursday night and into Friday morning in the ER. So it was yeah, it was a rough couple days. And then I wasn't sure what I was gonna do today, so um we're gonna work on the other Christine Karon image that I picked up, and we're gonna use alcohol markers today because it's low key and it's on the desk, and that's what I'm using on the other image that I'm working on. So hi, Miss Southern Belle, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So yeah, this is the that I'm gonna work on today. You're working on a picture as well. That's cool. What are you working on today? I don't know why it's so stinking dark in here. But yeah, after the stream, I will obviously update the thumbnail with actual image that we're working on and supplies and all of that fun stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of jump in here and get started on this. And I'm gonna start with her face. I like to do um especially when I'm working with markers, I like to do the skin first. Because it really sucks to um like do the whole rest of the okay, all right, Adobe, I got you. Stop sending me pop-ups. It really sucks to do like an entire image and then start working on the face last and something happens. I find like the skin is the something's gonna go wrong. It's with the skin. So the window of your soul. I am not familiar with that. Hey Sonia, how are ya? Welcome on in. Hi Cookie, how are you? Welcome, welcome. FK for a few, but I'm listening. You're good. Do what you gotta do. Be here for a little while. Hopefully. But yeah, I like to do the skin first. Huge eyeball. Ooh. Hmm. That sounds interesting. On a break at work and wanted to pop in and say hi. Well, it's good to see you. Hi, Anita. Hello, hello from Hungary. Well, hello, hello from work. Welcome, welcome. How's your day going, Anita? We're just getting started here. I'll put the music back on in a little bit, but we'll leave it off for right now. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to go in with dark or purple. Is her collarbone. And I'm working with my Copics today. Oh, let's I am gonna go in with darker, just in a couple areas. Mainly like around her hairline here. But I like to use some of these violets as like an underpainting for my skin tones. So detailed. I didn't do this line work. I'm just coloring it. But yes, sometimes work on is detailed. What are the name is the name of this book? This is actually I don't know if Christine has this in any of her books. This is from Christine Karon. It's called Mermaid's Heart, and it's just a PDF that I printed out. I bought it from her Etsy shop, and printed it out. So sometimes, I mean, she does put out books, but not all of her images are in books. She also does just a lot of single. Talking about the coloring part, that can get pretty detailed depending on how you work. And I'm just trying to be a little bit more dynamic with my color choices. I'm working on another one that is has like a blue green undertone, which was really scary because I've never underpainted an entire face green before. But I can't show you guys that one. Miss Southern Belle, after the stream, I will go in and update the description with the link to this specific image. I just didn't have all of that info when I was setting everything up. Okay. So, let's see how this looks. Now I'm going to start on the actual skin tones. She doesn't have an adult coloring book on. Who doesn't have an adult coloring book on Amazon? Christine Karon, she does. She has some of her books on Amazon. Wildflower Folk is one of her more popular books. She also did the Benny Blue. But yeah, a lot of her books are on Amazon. I'm gonna go over the eyebrows with the skin tone. Then it'll give me that that tone when I actually color the eyebrows. Do later. And I might need to pull a fourth. A fourth color, cause it's a little darker. Forgot to put some of Okay, let me see what I have that's lighter than 3. So, this color chart, I'll link to this too when I redo everything at the end of the stream. So this color chart is from Sandy Alnock. She has a bunch of these for different brands of markers. I like this one because rather than it be like in order of the colors like the Copic chart, she's got it set up with colors that actually like go well together. So I don't have the other one, but the Copic chart is in order like EO6, EO7, EO8, but those colors aren't always the best match. So what you can kind of do is when you find the color that you like is you can kind of go through the honeycomb to find colors that work well with the color that you want to use. So I like using this this one. So my E53, I could go out to an E50. I could also go out to an E000. Have E000. Have E000. Hi Marilyn, how are you? Actually, I think I am gonna go out to the E000 because it's got like a hint of pink in it. Have the hex chart also probably doesn't have used my markers in years. I haven't used like on a full project. I haven't used my Copics in a while. She has one for the Ohuhus also. I'm gonna bring a little bit of this pink actually up into the skin tone so it's not quite as um stark, I guess. I don't know. I can't I can't formulate words. And this is a light enough color that how's your day going, Marilyn? And we'll give her some makeup later. But markers are generally pretty quick. And that was kind of yeah. What I was looking for. I'm just gonna go over her whole lips. Well, Got a package from Poland of 4 coloring books from an artist I discovered. Oh, nice. That's always fun. What artist? I'll let that dry and move down to Jack. Oh man, I kept seeing it on Instagram. So, Kung Fu Panda 4 came out. I haven't seen the movie yet, but um I have Jack Black's version of Hit Me Baby One More Time stuck in my head. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I actually like it better than the original. I have to do something with the bubble that at the end if we get that far. I actually got some new books too, but they're from Korea. One of them is a watercolor book that actually has watercolor paper in it. Is my are you need ink? Don't want to have to fill up a marker right now. Let me try the... Alright, well, I guess just my brush nib needs to be replaced. Love you, Copics, but you frustrate me. Will there be a flip through? I'll show it to you guys really quick. I don't, hold on just a second. So, I got, Layla Dooley's Beautiful Planet, which is very, very detailed. This one is, the Cat Coloring Book Volume 2, which is actually, I showed you guys Volume 1, and there's a flip through of Volume 1 on the channel that, unfortunately, I don't know if it's out of print or what, but, I did a flip through of Volume 1, and I guess because people couldn't find it, they were upset. So I got some thumbs down on that one, but this is Volume 2. And then this one is, this one's got just cute little, like, pictures and whatnot in here. And then this is the watercolor, food book. It's actually, like, hard bound, I can't, oh, my brain is just, hardcover, there we go. And it's just got really simple, like, images in it, but this is actually, like, watercolor paper. Hey, KP, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Have a good day. But I don't know if I mean, if enough people wanted a flip through of this one, I could do one. Or we could just work in the book at some point on a live stream. Why are you responsible or deemed bad because a book you bought is out of print? I don't. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm responsible. It's and I don't know why people downvoted the video. That's the unfortunate thing about the thumbs down is like if so clearly people had issues with the video, but I don't know whether or not it was because of the book, if it was something with the video itself, because I would rather just have people leave a comment and say, hey, like, you shared a book that we can't find, and that really frustrates me. Because I don't know, like, what to fix. And I mean, I'm not gonna dwell on it because the thumbs down is still engagement. And it's not like YouTube doesn't penalize you for, you know, for the thumbs down. It's just kind of, cool, you didn't like the video, but I don't know why. For all I know, it could have been because they had issues with the audio, and if they would comment and say, hey, I couldn't hear you, or hey, you were too loud, then at least I would know what to fix, but And for all I know, it could have just been that they didn't like the art style, which is fine. Or maybe it showed up in their recommended because it was about cats and they were looking for actual videos about cats, not coloring books. It could be a bajillion different reasons. I mean, I got thumbs down on the Kirby review. The flip through for reflections. It is what it is. These characters have ears. Whoops. I'll just leave her with like purple ears. Like a flip of the watercolor book, but I'm probably in the minority. I'll do one. It might be a little bit because I have a couple other projects on my docket right now. I was the one that wanted the cat flip. Nah, I'll do one. I'll show it off. I just have a couple other things that I'm working on right now, so it might be a bit before I get to it. But yeah, I'll do one. Because I do think it's a neat book, and it's really hard to come by watercolor coloring books with actual like watercolor paper in them. Granted, like I don't know what the GSM is on the paper, and it's in a foreign language, so I can't actually read it. But it's definitely like it feels like cold pressed watercolor paper, and it's got the watercolor texture on it. And I mean, yeah, really at this point, if people want to downvote my videos, I mean, thanks for the engagement. Really kind of funkiness with the chili dip. But I think another mythographic book comes out next week also, so I should be able to do a flip through of that. I'm just I'm having a hard time with concentrating with my concentration right now. My ability to like multitask is pretty much shot. on top of horrific, like, fatigue. Um, so it's like I keep starting projects and then I lose my ability to like focus on finishing them, and it's incredibly frustrating. But flip throughs, I think I can handle flip throughs. I just don't want to like don't I don't want to put out a bunch of like flip throughs back to back. Not that it matters. I mean, if that's what it comes to be able to get videos out. And I already like feel kind of like garbagey because I didn't have anything for Saturday. And since YouTube likes to punish you if you're inconsistent, it just sucks because it's like I know more than feel like, oh yeah, I'm ahead of the game, cool, and then I just get the wind taken out of my sails. Although really if I just go back to like simple edits for a little while, okay, that's what I need to do. Honestly don't know at this point. Yeah, it's frustrating because I had fully anticipated going back to work after I've talked about this before about going back to work after I came back from my deployment, and I can't work in the state. I can't work full time for somebody in the like the state that I'm in. And so I can't even work for myself in the state that I'm in. Hey Yana, how are you? Welcome, welcome. And it's just like all they keep doing is shoving pills at me. I think she needs. Okay, I'm gonna commit to finishing up her face. So let me pull my color. Go all the way. Do I do? How are you, Yana? Okay, we're gonna need a darker green in here. Just a little. Days off after working all last week during the derby rush. Ah, well, it's nice that you got some time. That you've got some time off. Okay, so I think when I'm done, I'm going to probably go in with a. I feel like I need to darken up those pupils, but I don't know if I want to do it with the marker. Just looks a little wonky right now. Let's see. Go back Thursday to Sunday for the pre-Mother's Day rush. I'd like to say hopefully it won't be too bad. But having attempted to go have breakfast during the Mother's Day rush on Mother's Day, sounds like a thunderstorm is brewing. Been raining on and off since yesterday. You're not in tornado country, are you? It is in the US. Kinda sorta. Ooh. Well, stay safe. Okay. I am going to leave her face alone for right now because my plan might change when I do the hair. Had a tornado just miss your house a few weeks ago? Oof. Well, I'm glad that it missed your house. That's scary. Okay, so I'm gonna start on her hair. Start with the darkest parts, and seriously, if this marker needs to be, I don't have a refill for this. Legit, I might have to tap into my Ohuhus. Hold on just a second. I don't think I have a refill for this. At work and had no idea what I'd come home freaking out about your cats. Yeah, that's scary. Well, I guess this one. I wonder. Right, hold on. See if I can find a similar. But I'm glad everything worked out. I guess I'll go with this one. But yeah, that always freaks me out, like with the animals, like if something happens and I'm not here. I mean, it freaks me out if something happens and I am here because there's so many of them. I'm just kind of like, how am I going to get all of them like safely out of the house? I feel like I've played the scenario out in my head. Like who gets grabbed first. My husband laughs at me, but I honestly think some of like my thought process that goes into that is just it's like military training. Apparently, I need to go through my Copics again because, like the fact I haven't used them in a hot minute, some of them are dried out. It's doing that thing again where it kicks you out of the stream. Is it like in conjunction with an ad? Like an ad plays and then you come back in the stream and like it's like frozen? I like I don't understand because I've had that happen. I've had that happen to me before as a viewer. It was worse on mobile, but yeah, I had it happen a couple times watching Ryan's stream, and of course, like the YouTube person that I spoke to like argued with me, and he's trying to tell me like it's on my end. It's that it's like the software I use to broadcast, and I'm like, my viewers are telling me that it's happening to them, and I watch the stream like myself while I'm streaming, and it's not happening to me, and it's not happening to everyone, so no, it's not on my end. And he's like, well, I just went back and watched the video, and I'm like, I'm telling you, it's in conjunction with ads, which I have set up for YouTube to choose when to run an ad. That's on you guys, not me. I'm not picking when to run the ads. And he still continued to tell me that I was with that it was with OBS. And like legit like argued, well, no, we haven't had any issues today. And I'm like, I'm reporting an issue to you. And then it's like you go on Reddit and it's something that's been happening for like years. But I bet you if I was a streamer with like 1 million subs and my videos actually made more than like 5 cents, then he'd be a little bit more willing to help me. Did I say that out loud? Oops. Yeah, I gotta be careful here because I don't want to get like some of these elements like kind of blend together, so I don't want to accidentally color. But I tried to find out what the issue was. Oh, this is definitely just the process here. Hair always looks like so wonky when you first start working on it with markers. Especially when there's a lot of it. Okay, I'm gonna pick my next color here. Working my way out. R29. What do I want to do next? Well, that's pink. I don't want to do that. Just trying to figure out what I want to do next. This is really pink and that is let's I don't like that. No, I don't like that. It looks good on my swatch sheet, but not. I do Tuscan orange. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, okay. That a little bit better. We'll just take it a time. Although these colors do blend really nicely together. Are you over here, roast salmon? Where do I use these? This is when you kind of want to like work in small sections. My problem when I do hair, especially with alcohol marker, is I have it like in my head where I want my highlights to go. And then I always end up um like overdoing it with my darker colors. And I think I'll probably have to pick, I'll have to find a brownish color just to break this up, lest she look like Ronald McDonald. We'll have to touch that up too. What have what I have done so far looks good. Thank you, Yana. I appreciate that. Yeah, I did most of her face first, and then I'll go back later and do some like makeup and some touch ups, but I like to get the majority of the skin done first. And then usually I'll do the hair next. I find those the most challenging and the most likely to uh messed up. It sucks to get through an entire image um and then you do your skin last and you mess it up. But I don't know. I'm wondering if part of the reason my markers keep drying out is the way that I have them stored. But I started working on cleaning out our guest room with the intent that at some point down the road I will be moving into the guest room. I have them they're stored like, what is this? Horizontal? Like they say you're supposed to store them, and I'm using Ohuhu like the bamboo hold, but it's a bit of a tight, like a tight fit, and so I moved some things around so that I had less markers in each little like slot, thinking that maybe if I was trying to like cram them in there to maximize the space, that I was causing the covers to come loose. And so I move them around, and I usually leave like one space open so that they're free and not like crammed up against each other. I'm thinking it has something to do with the caps. So like when I slide them in there, if the fit is too snug, that they're rubbing up against each other and actually like causing some of the caps to come loose. You feel like you're because I don't know. I mean, I just find it a little like I know that there's all sorts of like stuff out there from people having concerns with like quality control with their Copics and um in that there's issues with the caps cracking, and it's not so much about like um you know the horizontal. It's I'm thinking I was causing too much pressure on the caps inside the little marker holder. And the other thing that I have heard from people in newer Copic sketch markers are drying in no time because of the brittle caps. Yeah, because I think like because of the shape of the barrel. So like if you're not careful when you I don't really want to do it because but like if you're not careful when you put uh the cap back on, like I don't really say, oh, if for it to click into place, but like it clicked into place and the cap is still twisted on the barrel right now. So if just that little like minute, like seriously, if I'm in the middle of a project and I put the cap back on and I hear it snap, I'm not looking to make sure that it's lined up perfectly. And the other thing with these is, and I do it and I've watched a lot of other people that do it, is like your natural like inclination when you take the caps off of these is to twist the cap. And so I catch myself sometimes when I do that, like I twist the cap to pull it off just because of the shape of the barrel. And apparently that can cause like micro cracks inside here that you would never even see. And it's just like one of those things like I don't want to be thinking about that when I'm working on a project. I shouldn't have to be like analyzing in my head, oh my god, did I twist the cap on my marker? Did I you know, I should be able to hear the snap and that should be it. And then I should feel confident for what I pay for what they sell these for, that the cap is secure on the marker. Because I have heard people say that they've had far less issues with the chows, and those have the round cap that you can like just pull the cap off of. Especially since it's the way they used to work. Yeah. And I found it amusing, but not really. That some people were leaving comments on Copic's uh like their message board or something like that. There was like a frequently asked question, and somebody asked a question about their markers drying out, and a Copic representative even like acknowledged like replacing the caps, but they don't sell replacement caps. The only way to replace the cap is to buy a new marker. So why are you telling your customers like, oh yeah, you need to replace the cap, knowing full well that you don't offer replacement caps, and that you're like one of your biggest selling points is, oh well, these markers last like a bajillion years. Oh, thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that. Yeah, she's getting there. She's she's coming along. Hey, Brooke, how are ya? Just having a whine about my Copics. It's like I really should keep better track of where I buy, like where I'm buying them from and like when. But I don't want. I shouldn't have to do that. I don't remember when I bought my cadmium red, but I know that it shouldn't be dry, and I just bought a bunch of like refills for a bunch of these, and cadmium red was not on my list. And I shouldn't have to re-swatch them like every X months just to make sure that they're all still in working condition. That's a little ridiculous, I'm not going to lie. Dog sitting 3 dogs, aw. That sounds like fun. But yeah, it just sucks because I really do love these markers, and when they perform well, like they perform really, really well. But uh, you know, shouldn't have to test my markers, but like before every project. Especially if I already have them swatched. I should just be able to like look at this and match my colors up and pick out what I want and feel confident that when I start my project that it's going to be that they're going to be good. I'm going to try and get another couple strands done here before I take my break. What kind of dogs are you dog sitting for? Pitbull, mini schnauzer, a Bernie dude. You have your lab. Oh man, you got your hands full. Hopefully that up okay. And I can just glaze over it with my fish colors. I'll just have to be careful. Worth it though? Well, that's good. Okay, let me see if I can find a good highlight color. Have I thought I had a fruit out here. Wait, that was pale fruit pink. Let's try. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Because I don't want it to be like. Okay, yeah, I don't hate that. I don't want it to be like super bright highlights, but I just need something. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with that. Okay, so those are my hair colors. Actually, I do want to let me. I don't hate that either. It kind of like tones it down just a little. Okay. I think that's a good place for me to take a quick break, go feed the cat. I'll put some music on for you guys, flip the screen over, and I should be back momentarily. Okay, I'm back. I thought about making myself. Oh, I'm still thinking about making myself another coffee, but I really should just keep drinking my water. I'm trying to drink more water, but uh really really want that second cup of coffee. But I know I'm going to regret my life choices later. It's calling to me and I have no willpower. feel like I've used this music in a video. Although, I'm kind of at the point where I'm contemplating getting rid of my, my Soundstripe subscription and just using the free stuff that YouTube has. The only thing that concerns me about doing that is because I've used so much of their music in past videos. If that's gonna affect the, like, my usage rights on, like, old videos, because that would be horrible. I'm just basically, like, at the point where I'm so irritated with subscriptions, and I'm still getting hit with copyright notifications with Soundstripe, and I can't clear them. So then I have to wait for YouTube to, like, trim out or mute the segment of the video, and after a live stream, it takes so long for them to upload, like, as a quote-unquote as a video, that, like, I'm losing out on revenue, like, either way. I think looked at their terms once and it seemed to me that their music without a current subscription, even in older videos. I mean, it makes sense. God, that would be horrific to have to. It's like they have a basic a basic thing that I think is free, but I'm pretty sure with that one, you can't download full tracks, and they're, like, watermarked or some shit like that. Like, they do something to them. Time to take care of a few things. Alright, Yana, thank you for hanging out. It was good to see you. I appreciate you coming and chilling with us for a little bit. It's just irritating that, like, they've made it so that, if you want to attempt to manually clear something, you have to have a pro account. Says to me it happens so much that it costs them too much money, but why fix our end of things when they can squeeze more money out of you? Probably. It didn't used to be that way because I've had a Soundstripe subscription for a long time. And I used to be able to, like, to clear things that, that the auto, like the, whatever it is, that it didn't catch. Cause like, I get it. Sometimes stuff happens and, and I know that there are also, like, people out there that are somehow claiming music that is not, like, theirs. That they're claiming that they have the rights to it when they don't. Because a lot of the, like, the times that it happens, the name in the song that comes up isn't anything that I recognize. And sometimes it doesn't even have the song name with it. Yeah, it's just wild. And then it makes you wonder how many people out there, like, don't catch that, and they're sharing their ad rev with somebody that doesn't, like, that shouldn't be getting their ad rev. Must be enough, otherwise they wouldn't do it. True. I don't know, I make, like, nothing doing this as it is. I'd rather my entire, like, income not go to subscriptions. Or to scammers for music. Of course, it'd be too much to expect YouTube to protect creators from that kind of stuff. Like, I can file an appeal when it happens, but the problem with, so YouTube does give you options. You can either have them attempt to mute out the music, which sometimes doesn't always work, mute out the entire segment, or, like, trim it. Or you can file an appeal. And all options take like forever. So it takes them time to like edit the video for you, essentially, to either mute it out or trim it for you. It takes significantly less time for them to do that than if you file an appeal. So most of the time, I just have them trim or mute the segment out. If you file an appeal, it can take up to 30 days, and then you're still missing out on revenue on your video in that time. And no guarantees that, like, well, because they just won't show ads on your video if that happens in the 30 days. So like your video is ineligible to be monetized while the appeal is pending. So you're missing out on a month of ad revenue at that point. So it's easier to just let them take an hour or two to mute the segment out. But it would be much easier if I could just do what I used to be able to do and copy the address to the video into the little thing on Soundstripe's website and have them clear it. But no, everything has to be a subscription or ridiculously complicated. What annoys me is that scammers always operate the same, and you can't tell me that that's not something AI couldn't detect and at least flag. You'd think that. Have to implement it, and then a human would have to look at everything and it gets flagged, and humans are expensive. I think, though, like, a lot of places are realizing that automation isn't always the best option. Like, our local Target has actually, I think it's Target-wide, that self-checkout is only open between certain hours now. I think, like, from 11 to 2. Because they were having so many issues with, people shoplifting. Just walking through the self-checkout and just taking stuff. Granted, it's like everything at pretty much every big box store around here now is like locked up. Can't even buy like freaking women's razors without having to um call an associate to come unlock the cabinet for you. And then I feel like I'm wasting their time, that they have to come over and stand there while I get razors. And went to Lowe's, the hardware store, the other day, and my husband was buying electrical, like, wire to reroute an outlet to a new circuit, and he had to wait for an associate to come over to open the cabinet, and then hand walk the item up front and give it to like the checkout clerk. AFK for dinner. All right, I'll be here for a little while longer, I think. There are so many markers all over my desk. So now my fish. try something. Okay, I don't hate that. Gonna roll with it. Okay. Might actually finish this today. Wait for half an hour and I'm almost done. And I'm zipping right along. I got some detail work to do. But like for the most part, the main image is I don't know. Okay, I was worried it was gonna like look too close to my blue fish, but I think it gives just enough of a blue tint around the edges that ooh, what's in there? Okay. Let's see, because I have this on my desk. So I'm gonna try and go inside some of these bubbles. I think it'll work on the maybe, I don't know. Or I should have just left them alone. Because they don't really look like bubbles now. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I don't think I'm going to do all of the bubbles. Because then, like, because I'm not really doing a background, they just kind of, like, disappear. So I think just doing the few that are kind of, like, in, like, the hair and whatnot. And then we'll just kind of accentuate some of the highlights in her eye and have it out here on my desk.
I do.
A little too pink for her cheeks. Let me try pinkish white. And that might be a little much. Bit on her nose. Oh, and then I have to put all these markers back. Okay, and then I gotta keep track of the markers that I need to refill, or you. Is it you, Fruit Pink? No, it's not you. I had at least 2 or 3 that were causing me issues. I guess I should just like re-swatch all of these before I put them back, but I don't really want to do that. I have other projects that need to be tended to before I maintenance on my freaking markers. I need to do a swatching video for these. I have another book coming. How are you able to use markers as if they were pencils on me? It just takes practice. I do appreciate the kind words, but it's just practice, you know, and just being mindful of you know, choosing your colors, and you just got to take it a chunk at a time. I have plenty of marker pieces that were just turned into hot garbage. Yeah, I have had the gold fobbers on my list for like a week. I've actually been using them in my other project that I am working on. And then I have these. Oh no, I don't know what that was, but hopefully it's not spilling all over my floor. And then I have these. Yeah, so I lost one of my sets of 30. I cannot find it, and discovered it was missing when I was doing the sketchbook. The sketchbook cover. So I don't know if I left them in my hotel room at drill and just didn't realize that they were missing until I went to use them for a project. And so when I went to look back and see uh what they had, because I've seen some people that have gotten the 60 sets, and there's 2 of them. There's a 60A, and the 60B I believe is like called the anime set, and I just got the basic, because that's the color of the box of 30 set that I lost, and they were relatively inexpensive for like twice the markers. So I just kind of replaced this misplaced them, and if I find my other 30 set by some chance, I'll just probably give it to my niece. Just checking in. Okay, I got that. Made it back after meetings. Image looks great. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to be able to, like, finish something today. I probably will go in after I'm done and just kind of like touch up some areas on the hair and things that are harder to do with a camera in my face. I don't know if I'll do a swatching video for the paint markers, but I will do one for the gold fobbers, and it's not gonna be like a full, like, thorough review, but I'll talk a little bit about them in comparison to a couple other sets of markers and some things that I was looking forward to with them. And then a couple things that I have noticed using them um that kind of have me. Basics give a good variety. Hoping use to base a bit and then shadow and highlight with pencils for quicker coloring. I really like these. I don't know if I would use them to do a full coloring page because they're so opaque. You'd lose your line work. Um, the gold fobbers are pencils, but they recently released the sketch markers. But no, these are the markers. I believe these came out in January-ish, and I didn't know about them until Blick sent me hey, check out these new products, and I was like, huh, those look interesting. But yeah, these are new though. I believe they probably just came out overseas first, and then recently started coming out to like the US retailers. Because I hadn't heard of them until, like I said, until Blicky sent me an email, and they they seem to be these are alcohol. The gold fobbers are alcohol markers. They are very similar to the Tombos. Popping in for a quick hello. Glad you guys are still here. Hi KP, welcome back. Yeah, we're just I'm kind of wrapping up, methinks, since I actually finished my project for today, which makes me feel a little better since I missed Saturday's video. But yeah, I have some thoughts on the gold fobbers, but again, I've only them they are not. There's no refills, but you can get them open stock. Just like the essentially like the Tombos. But yeah, I do plan to do a more, I guess, in-depth for I don't really do like review videos, but these these I have an interest in, so, and I've already got a couple, like I said, a couple things that I have noticed that I was a little about, but we'll see how I feel when I finish my other project. So thank you, KP. I appreciate that. Like, they're not bad markers, but I would choose my Tombos probably over these, with the exception of maybe this end of the marker, but that's for another video. Have no idea how to use alcohol markers. I didn't know how to use alcohol markers either when I bought my first set. Um I want to say that I mean, here's my thing. I've said this before. There's really no right or wrong way to use an art supply. Are there techniques that make them more user friendly? Absolutely. But I think it's more you need to figure out how to use them to get the results that you want, that look the way that's appealing to you. So like I did a lot of blending with this one, but I also use my alcohol markers on some projects. uh Instead of blending them out, I will cell shade with them, kind of like I do with digital art. uh I find them to be pretty forgiving. It's just, you just gotta play with them and figure out what works. uh there are um my brain is shot. um and I guess the other thing that I would say too is, much like watercolor, uh a lot of it comes down to the paper that you're using. Different paper is going to give you different results. And you kind of have to adjust, to the paper that you're working on. So like this, I printed out and I'm using Blend It cards, so it's made specifically for alcohol markers. A good color chart, um important. I really like Sandy Alnox. We talked about this at the beginning. I really like Sandy's color chart, and she actually talks a lot about this in her marker videos. So especially like with the Copics, and I'm gonna say even with the Ohuhus, because they're the two like commonly used in the adult coloring world brands. Let me see if I have my other color chart. I guess, for the last little bit, we'll just talk about markers. Okay, so this is Copic's color chart, and let me see if I can get us in a little closer so we can actually see this. And we're probably not going to be able to read uh, the numbers here. So for Copic, I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to explain this. So you've got a letter or two letters and then two numbers. And so your letters are your color family. So blue is blue violet, V is for violet. Then you've got your red violets, your reds, your yellow reds, your yellows, yellow green, green, blue, more blue. E's is for the earth tones, and then you've got your grays over here. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then there's kind of some debate about the numbering system on these markers, and the same thing with the Ohuhus. Uh let me just go ahead and I have it, and I can explain the way that Copic explains it and the way it actually works. And then I can explain to you guys why I prefer Sandy's color chart versus this one. Okay, so we've already talked about the color family, and then the second digit is what they call like your blending group, and they refer to it as color saturation. And I don't necessarily agree with that, because saturating a color or desaturating a color is adding is adding black, white, or gray to saturate or desaturate your color. But there's no white when you're working with alcohol markers. So they talk about desaturating a color. They're just adding more blending fluid to the ink classification. And if you look at some of these, so let me see. So I would say that like this blue violet over here is way more desaturated than this blue violet right here. So they kind of get you to like, I'm probably not explaining this in a way that makes sense. So they call that second digit, you know, the blending group, the color saturation, and then that last digit is like the intensity value. They call it the intensity value. This is Copic's explanation. But I would say that this blue violet 20, what is this, 28? I can't see here. The blue violet 28 is more intense than the blue violet 34. So you would think that like this blending group, these ones up here, would all go together, and they don't. Like, I would not mix blue violet 1-1 with blue violet 1-3, even though they're technically all in the same blending group. So I think that's why a lot of people get frustrated, because when you're buying Copic markers, if you're buying them, you know, a couple at a time, the logical thing in your brain when you're looking at this color chart would be, well, if I buy all of the blue violet one series, then these will all go together. And blue violet 17 is way more desaturated and has way more blending fluid in it than blue violet 13. So then if you look at Sandy's chart over here, we've got the blue violet 13 right here. She has paired up with the blue violet 04. And I would absolutely these two together before I use these three together. So she's got the blue violet 17 up here, which I would do this combo. The blue violet 17 is like my shadow color, and then the blue violet 04 as like a mid-tone, and then the blue violet 13 as like my highlight or my lighter color. But in terms of like when you're choosing colors to buy, I still would use Sandy's chart, because even though Copic has their like reasoning behind how they have these numbered, if you buy them off of this and then get home and are disappointed because they look like crap together. Or the other thing that you have to be careful with, especially with some of these like lighter colors, is if you mix them, you can actually end up with like color shift. So, like I said, my brain is kind of like not functioning, so hopefully that made some kind of sense. It makes sense in like in my brain, but it's kind of difficult to explain. But I would definitely suggest if you want to learn more about like the technical side of markers in that respect, to check out Sandy Alnock's channel. You just check here. Watch a lot of alcohol marker videos and find this takes more practice to become second nature than pencils. Uh, I don't know if I would say that it takes. It's just it's a different. You just have to take a different approach to it. And even with colored pencils, um, every colored pencil behaves differently. Every alcohol marker brand behaves differently, so there's always an adjustment. Um, you just have to figure out what makes them comfortable for you. King Clotter is a free alcohol marker class that I believe gives explanations for reading the Copic numbering system, but I do that X chart from Sandy and like the ease of it. Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying is like Copic has their explanation for their numbering system, but when you really sit down and look at it, the terms that they use don't quite match up with the results that you get if you follow their numbering system. Um the way they use the term saturation, I think makes it more difficult to understand how their markers work. So really, I kind of ignore the numbers on the Copic markers, with the exception of using them to find which marker I want. But in terms of, purchasing or how I use them together, um I don't generally use them to like really like select my blending trios. I think they make it a little bit more confusing. Um because like I said, not all of their blending groups work well together. In the way they explain it, makes it seem like that's how you're supposed to use them. And so when you're just starting out, that can be really frustrating. And it's the same thing with the Ohuhu markers. I have tried to understand their numbering system, but Sandy also has a hex chart for the Ohuhus, even though she doesn't use them and she's not a fan of them. A lot of people um but she was getting a lot of requests for a hex chart for it. So I believe what she does is any revenue that she makes off of people who buy the Ohuhu chart goes to a charity. Test a blend you've chosen to make sure you like it. Well, yeah, that yeah. But I mean, like, when you're buying these, you can't generally test your marker blends to make sure that your whatever you're buying is going to work well together. So it's nice to have another option to look at to make sure that you're buying something that's going to be a little bit more cohesive. Because if you go, like I said, if you go off of this chart, you're probably going to be disappointed. But yeah, I like Sandy's too because it takes you outside of your blending group and you can trace things to other, you know, other colors, but I have this one just so I can keep track of what markers I have. And then of course with your neutrals, you don't need to buy the entire like you don't need to buy all of the grays. I would say if you do every other, you'd probably be pretty set. And I would recommend new people starting out to just get start with the neutrals. Especially since you can layer these, so if you really wanted a blue gray, you could layer one of your neutrals over top of one of your. I have definitely made the mistake of buying markers in a blending group and then I get home and well, these don't work well together. Cuz like some of these are very very like close in in tonal value. And then you've got this Violet 04 up here which looks more pink than Violet 05. But ultimately it's just, it's just a lot of playing around. I had zero idea how to use this when I first started playing with alcohol markers and just kind of, found a rhythm with them and here we are. But I think that's a good place to stop since we finished our project for today. Um I have a couple, like I said, I have a couple other things that I am working on, but honestly, like right now with the health stuff, like I'm finding it really difficult to stick to a schedule because my concentration is shot. Um so I can only find myself really only being able to like sit and multitask for short periods of time and it makes it really difficult to finish things and then to sit down and actually edit them. My current project is actually like been filmed in like 7 different pieces. So and it's probably going to end up being a speed color with no voiceover. Generally, if I don't record the voiceover within a few days of finishing the project, I remember where my thought process was when I did it. Videos might be kind of funky for a little while until I get myself straightened out. But thank you guys so much. I super appreciate all of your support and everybody that hung out today. And yeah, I think she turned out pretty cute. So I'll update the thumbnail and whatnot. I definitely am not gonna put all of the markers that I used in the description for this because that's a lot of markers. So Um, yeah, hopefully I can get back to recording for you guys and get some of the things that I have been working on out. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much.